This is the end of New Brunswick, and over at the other end of this thing, this bridge, is Prince Edward Island. Arguably the longest bridge in the world.
No, he's wrong. It's arguably the longest bridge over ice in the world.
Yeah, but didn't
Get your facts straight.
Arguably the longest in the world.
Over ice.
No, it's the longest in the world over ice, but there's a bridge in Denmark.
No, arguably the longest over ice.
Ah, blah, blah, blah. I think
anyway, it's nearly 13 kilometres long. It takes about 12 minutes to drive all the way over it. 44 spans, 20 stories high. And the thing cost $900 million to make.
So we're on the Confederation Bridge, as you can see, approaching Prince Edward Island. Apparently the toll structure is such that you don't have to pay to go over, but you've got to pay to get off, to come back off the island. So we're here at Panmure Island Provincial Park on Prince Edward Island. We felt like a bit of lamb. It's very difficult to find lamb that's grown in Canada, so we had to get some stuff that had been imported from New Zealand. So a couple of nice little Frenched New Zealand lamb racks, which I'm going to prepare according to a little method of mine, the special little mint sauce with a twist.
I'm just preparing some carrots. Where did we buy them? The farmer's market in Summerside this morning. The mozzies are really bad here this evening, so my defence is socks and sandals, pants tucked in, long sleeve, done all the way up. Just let them try and get me the little buggers.
Heating up this fry pan, I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil in there, spread it around. The rosemary goes beautifully with lamb. A few sprigs of rosemary into that oil, hoping that the flavour of the rosemary will sort of infuse into the oil.
Oh, I can smell it. It's starting to have a beautiful aroma. I'm
going to throw in these lovely New Zealand lamb wraps. Turn them over in there until they're sealed on all sides. So I'm just turning these over now to do on the fleshy side. They're getting nicely browned there. And what I think we'll do, I was just discussing it with Lenny, is put it so the bone is down onto the pan, and that will protect the meat a little bit from the direct heat of the pan.
What do you got there, Woz?
I just had a little alfoil accident. Nothing to panic about. We'll worry about that later. So that's nicely covered now. I think we'll just leave that on for an initial 20 minutes, hey Len?
Perfect. I'll set the timer.
Now Lenny's got some nice farm fresh organic carrots there and some Quebec grown potatoes.
We're just going to boil the veggies, and then what we'll do is we'll just toss them simply in a little bit of mint and butter. This
is not bee-made honey. This is actually balsamic vinegar that's been put in this container for ease of transportation on our crash test kitchen tour of Canada. Lenny's got some sprigs of mint there, which I've just asked her to bruise and leave on the stalk. I'm just using the vacant space on the barbecue where I'm going to heat some of this balsamic vinegar. Lenny's going to pour that in for me.
Just tell me how much you want.
That'd be enough, I'd say.
Yeah, that's probably enough.
That's heaps. So that's got to heat up. So the bruised mint going in. The other ingredient is sugar. Now check this out. Sugar in a milk container. Really convenient for us when we're travelling. Got that in Quebec. The lamb is already starting to smell phenomenal. And in the meantime, Lenny's just decided to put the carrots in with the potatoes. Well, I just thought the lamb was cooking a bit too fast, so I swapped ends and put the mint sauce on the hot end of the barbecue. But it seems like the lamb is still cooking a bit too fast. So what do you say, Len? We just take it off?
I think we just take it off and leave it on the side for a little while.
Okay. The mint sauce is starting to bubble. Lenny's just having a smell of it. It's really interesting, isn't it, Len?
The mint is really coming through. It really does need some sugar just to cut right through that vinegar flavour though.
That's quite a bit.
That's a tablespoon and a half, I think.
We added a fair bit of sugar there, and I also suspect that that's not going to be enough mint sauce, so we're just going to add a bit more balsamic vinegar. What do you think, Len?
Yeah.
That enough?
Yep. Look at this little guy that I only partially peeled so you could see. It's purple. It's called a dragon carrot.
I think that carrot's mother might have been off playing in the beetroot patch by the look of it.
Looks like it. I really thought the carrots would cook more quickly, but the potatoes have gone soft really very quickly, so I'm going to have to take them out. Just tossing the potatoes with a little bit of mint and some butter.
This really isn't chugging along quickly enough on the barbecue, so what we're going to do is put the carrots on the barbecue. And turn that right down, Len, before you put it on there, and we'll add some more sugar as well. One of the reasons that I asked Len to leave the mint on the sprigs was to make it easy to fish out of this sauce. It's all gone all yucky and limp.
Yeah, and we don't want to present that brown sort of black mint. We've got some freshly chopped stuff just put in right at the end.
So we drained a little bit of oil, bit of juice that came out of the lamb into that sauce, and it's pretty much ready to go. We'll just add the mint at the end. The lamb here we've put back on the heat. It needs a little bit longer. So what we're going to do is take the foil off and relocate it onto our little Whisperlite stove here. Finish cooking it and to brown it a little bit as well. Ready at last.
I think just cut them in two. Oh,
Let's
look at
have a
that.
look.
Quite nicely done, I'd say.
Is that how you do it?
I don't know.
She's just trying to stand them up so the ribs form a little arch, and there we go, perfect. On go the carrots and potatoes. Wow, this is looking absolutely amazing. While Lenny does the artisan work over there, I'm going to add this last bit of mint into the sauce. Just look at those, that's amazing, Len.
Hang on a minute.
The presentation is just
It's not finished.
fantastic. The final touch, our special balsamic mint sauce. Goodness me, look at that. Little sprig of mint to finish it off. You're having a piece of potato? How is it?
It's okay, as far as potato goes.
Lamb is perfect, just a little bit pink, which is what we want.
So tender. And you can taste that rosemary that we fried it in.
What do you think of the sauce, Len?
It's beautiful. It's you'd think it'd be really sweet with the amount of sugar, but it's not. It's kind of, it almost tastes meaty. That's not the right word, but it's got a real body to it.
I really like this sauce. When you use the balsamic vinegar like this, as I said, all that vinegary volatility gets cooked away, and you're just left with the beautiful flavours of the balsamic vinegar and the sugar and the mint. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's nice and syrupy, and you absolutely soak up every bit of it. Cheers. We tend to be a bit rough and ready here on Crash Test Kitchen, but just look at this presentation. I think this is our best presented meal to date.
You can't go wrong with the lamb rack, really. It's so easy.
Oops. Hang on, the carrot. Our wine tonight was a red wine from Ile de Bacchus Winery on l'Île d'Orléans. Don't laugh at my French accent. In Quebec. Lovely.